Everyone loves you. Everyone wants to see your art. The dreams that you have are there for a reason. I see you, and I love you. I'm so glad that you're here, that you're taking up space, and you're like, this is my time, baby. Oh la la, quelle journée! Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited today to start off the video. I wanted to talk today about, that was dramatic. Did you guys hear that horn? I wanted to talk to you guys today, now that it's sort of nearing the end of the year, about some revelations I've had this year about the need to be polarizing on the internet. And especially as a creative, to be willing to be seen and shine brightly. And I don't mean shine brightly in the sense of like, I'm a star. Could be. I mean more in the sense of like coming authentically as yourself. And that's been something that I've been working through this year a lot, is accepting the fact that I was born to shine brightly. I was born to be authentically myself. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about today. But first, we have a very exciting announcement. In the beginning of 2023, I set out to create an affirmation journal series with all original paintings on the cover. And I'm very excited because the fourth journal in the series, Vulnerability is My Superpower, is out now in both hardcover and paperback. And as I always say, sisters, not twins. I released this as a print in the beginning of the year, and I knew as soon as I released it as a print that I had to have it as a journal cover, because it's just a reminder to myself that the more you are authentically yourself, the more that you are triggering to people in a good way, because they see your soul, the more that you can actually bring people closer to you. And that's something I want to talk about today. So, like I said, it's an original artwork on the cover, and on the inside, it says, Vulnerability is my superpower. I don't know if you can see that. I have the lights on in my apartment today because it's sort of a rainy day. And it's a lined journal, and I just hope that it's a reminder to you all to embrace who you are as an artist, to embrace who you are as a person, and to know that being cringe doesn't exist in the year of our Lord 2023. That I think like being cringe is a word that was invented by people who want to shame us for being ourselves. So anyway, link in bio if you want to get a copy. This is probably the best way to support my channel. I do everything myself. I design the inside of the journal. I do the graphic design on the cover. And I'm just really proud to be a small business owner online that is putting myself out there. My many selves out there. And I'll always do hardcover and paperback because I want to make it affordable to everyone, but I really love the hardcover in this. So if you can spend like the extra, I think it's like €9 more to get the hardcover. It's really thick, it has 200 pages, so it'll last you probably like 6 months if you're a slow journaler, or it could last you like 2 months if you're a fast journaler. So anyway, so excited about this one. My goal this year was to put out 6 journals, but I think I'm actually going to probably put the other 2 out in the beginning of 2024. I'm actually going home to see my family for the first time in 2 years. which is always amazing but also emotional because you have such a condensed period of time. Like, I haven't seen my niece grow up at all. You know, I was always very close to my family in an emotional sense. I mean, when I was an adult, we wouldn't necessarily see each other all the time. But yeah, I mean, thank God for cell phones, thank God for the internet, and I'm sure that they are watching my video now, so I love you guys. But yeah, I think the end of the year is going to go by really fast for me, and journaling has been extremely important for me recently in in very surprising ways, actually. I've always been a journaler, and that's been since I was like 6 years old. I have a journal of mine that I collaged with like Brittany Murphy on the cover, and like it says 2000 on the cover. Where is it? It might be here. Ah, here she is. Like, you can tell how old it is by like the collage on the cover. It says Von Dutch. I think the first page is like, "Dear Diary, my name is Shayna. I like Mark, Justin, Cody, and Josh. I'm 8. I'm going out with Justin. He's in 5th grade. I'm in 3rd. Like, it's just, and the cover says private diary, diary spelled with an E. Anyway, I want to stop scrolling before bed, so I started going through my old journals, and I don't do this very often just because I think that if you go look at your journals too quickly, you can kind of judge yourself. But recently I've been looking at them because I am working on writing a book, and it's been just sort of like my nighttime reading is going through my old journals and laughing with myself. Sometimes I even address my future self in my journals, where I'm like, oh, I'm sure Shayna from the future is gonna be like, what the fuck, bitch? And then I'm like, I am saying that. But anyway, I came across my journal from when I was 12 the other day, and it really got me thinking about something that has been a big theme and learning lesson in my life this year. When I was 12, I moved schools. I was a new kid in 6th grade, and I remember like the first day of lunch, everyone had someone to sit with, and I hated the idea of being seen sitting alone, but it was totally normal because I didn't know anybody. But I hated the idea of being seen alone, so I went and ate my lunch in the bathroom, like the movie Mean Girls, like Katie Heron. And I remember in middle school, like that year, because I was new, I didn't have a lot of friends, I just really focused on my studies, and I was the top of the class. I mean, that's not like a huge flex when it's like 6th grade. I think you're just getting into like algebra, but like I was the top of the class in 6th grade. But I was writing in my journal about the experience because I had a really hard time making friends, because since I did have good grades, I would raise my hand, I would always know the answer, and that really pissed the other kids off in the class. They just hated me for it, and I realized that if I was going to make friends, then I needed to sort of dim myself down to make other people feel more comfortable, because shining brightly, and like I said, shining brightly doesn't mean like I know the answer, but it's like I knew the answer, so I raised my hand. Shining brightly, like I said, is just being your most authentic self. I realized that by shining brightly, people were not going to want to be my friends. So instead of being like, fuck these kids, and just being the boss 6th grader that I would purposefully get the wrong answer. I would purposefully just start acting out. Like, I wouldn't dress out for PE, which is physical education. I would purposefully get into like arguments with my professor to sort of just be like a little demon in class, because that's what people liked about me, and I made a ton of friends. But at the end of the day, I made friends by not being authentically myself. And reading about that, I found a common theme of how I think a lot of us are afraid to share not only our wins, but our creative process or the things that we're actually trying at, because we don't want to make other people feel uncomfortable. I remember specifically when I was in high school, I had a friend and we were like best friends. I'd always be over at her house. And her dad one day was talking about like where he sees us in the future. And I remember him saying to me like, the problem with you, Shayna, is that you shine so brightly, but you don't want other people to look at you. And I know that sounds creepy, but it wasn't creepy. He meant like, you know, I would just always put other people in front of me, or I would always, yeah. I think a lot of us learn as a defense mechanism to fear being seen in vulnerable positions, which is why vulnerability is my superpower. Because we learn to fear this because it alienates us from other people. We fear being seen as someone who is trying at something, because how embarrassing that you're trying to do something you actually care about, you know? But what I've really learned this year is that the only way to truly find your people is to get past this fear of being cringy, to get past the fear of people judging you, and shining brightly 100% of the time, and seeing everything as an experience and not like, this is like my final product. Do you know what I mean? I love when artists share like videos of the process of them doing something, because they're inviting you in to their most vulnerable time of like, oh, I'm playing at this, I'm not sure about this, but I deserve to be here, I deserve to take up space, you know? And I think that's why I'm such a loner now, because I do realize that like, as an adult, something that I've noticed is a lot of times there's competition with other people. I feel like I'm only in competition with myself, but I even like got a coffee with an artist the other day and she's super successful. And we were both saying like the number one thing that we want from friends is just like, when I have a win, I want you to be happy for me and not feel bad about yourself. And maybe that's a tall order, like maybe it's hard for other people to not compare themselves. But yeah, anyway, back to posting online, back to sharing your work in 2023. I just want to ask you, like, what are you holding yourself back from sharing? What are you holding yourself back from being right now because of what other people think of you? You know, there's a lot of talk recently, I think, about like the importance of being seen, the importance of being comfortable being seen. And that's something that I've definitely been working on. I think just releasing the ego and posting just like random shit on Instagram of my art process and experiments. And I think every time that I do that, there's a part of me that's like, you know, the first time that I started just posting like random stuff to my reels, I don't want to say random because it's not random, but more experimental stuff, not necessarily finished stuff, I lost like 100 followers on Instagram. And I was like, well, this isn't very encouraging. But then I started getting a ton of DMs of people who, you know, wanted me to come perform at their open mic night, or, you know, was like, oh, like I really resonate with this. And I think that that brings me to the point of being polarizing, because yeah, like the more that you show up authentically yourself, it may push people away, but it's also bringing you closer to creating a community with people who really like who you are and really love you. You know, it's better to have 100 people who really love and support you than hundreds of thousands of people who just see you as like a vague sort of image, I guess. is the word that I would say. And I think one of the biggest questions that I always get asked is like, how do you not be afraid of what other people think of you? And I think it's just that I care more about what I'm doing than I do about their opinions. Like, obviously, you know, it hurts when people are rude to you, or, you know, it doesn't resonate or whatever. But at the end of the day, I think I just care more about what I think. But I think that a way that I've been able to do that is I sort of have to like keep a distance from most people, you know. Like, I actually follow a lot of you guys on Instagram. I did like this, I did this question on my post the other day about like, what do some of you guys make? And I just discovered the coolest artists on Instagram. I'm like, why am I not following these people? So I followed like a lot of you guys on Instagram that I discovered. I'm gonna do this monthly, where I ask you guys to share your work, and I'll repost it on my story, and it'll be like a little art show in the Instagram stories. And even that like made me feel so good, because I started seeing the people who are watching my stories are you guys, are fellow artists, and I see you instead of like this random ass person who still fucking stalks me from high school who watches my stories. It's because like, why should they be there? I think Instagram is very voyeuristic. Is that a word? Voyeury. It feels like people are watching on Instagram in like a weird way. But I think that that's been something that I've been trying to work on, is like, the more that you practice being seen and the more that you get comfortable being cringe or just like experimenting, it's like a muscle, you know what I mean? The more that you do that, the more it just becomes second nature to you, like breathing, you know? And I just wanted to share some of these things because it's something that I have been working on this year, is releasing the ego of needing, you know, even just like Instagram to be like this perfect little portfolio of my work, and being like, no, actually I want to connect with people and create an energy and a conversation, and I want it to be more fun. Like, let's make social media fun again, you know? And so I think that, yeah, like maybe this video is geared more towards creatives. But in a sense, I think that it's relevant to every area of your life. I love watching celebrity breakdown videos of people who they say have like a charismatic personality. And I think one that I really enjoy is, there is this video on Shia LaBeouf, and let's just put it out there, like, he's done some shitty things. But his charisma is really interesting because he just will walk into the room and say like the most polarizing random shit about himself, and you're like, whoa, like this person is just so honest. And I tend to be attracted to people like that in my life. Like, I love people who are just like, yeah, I'm having a shitty day, and like they'll just tell you really how they feel. And I think it's because it is polarizing. You have the feeling that you're seeing into somebody's soul, and their vulnerability is a superpower. You know, so even if you're not a creative person, even if you're not, you know, posting online or sharing your art, I think that that can still be relevant in your life if you really want to create connections with people, is by saying something vulnerable, by being the first one to say like, yeah, I only have one fork in my apartment because I don't cook very well, and I get anxious sometimes and I throw all my dishes away because I just want to start over, you know? I think that sometimes just saying that, putting that 1 foot forward, people can really feel you and see you, and when people see you, that's when they can really love you, you know? So that's something that I've been thinking about this year. Okay. Oh, I'm always like, it's gonna be a short vid today, and then it's like 22 minutes long. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. in case that it could inspire you or some way to put yourself out there to be cringe. Cringe doesn't exist. And if people don't like it, unfollow, bitch. I need to make a sound on my cord that's just like, unfollow, bitch. Unfollow, bitch. Wait, hold on. Should I just try really quick? Hold on. Unfollow, bitch. Unfollow, bitch. That makes me so happy. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, I'm feeling good. I hope that everyone has the most amazing November and Christmas, and I'm just thinking of you so much no matter what you're going through in life. I hope this video could inspire you, and if you like these type of videos, don't hesitate to subscribe. I am here mostly every Tuesday. And I also have a Patreon where we do podcasts, Zoom parties, Paris meetups. We did a Halloween meetup, which was really, really sweet. What did I even dress up as? Oh, I was the moon. That's what that was. I was the moon, and I will link that down below, as well as if you do want to get the Vulnerability is My Superpower journal to remind yourself to take up space, be vulnerable, and that being authentically yourself and shining bright is your birthright. I'll link that down below. And thank you so much for watching. And you can follow me on Instagram. We have the next Insta play that's coming out soon, as well as I do like these monthly little art shows of your guys' work. So I hope everyone has a good week, and I will see you next time at the Purple Palace.